Bear in mind I've got a spinal injury, so I'm in a lot of pain, so if I wince and make sudden movements and noises, it's because I'm in pain. My Time at Bottomley High by Pete Gorrell. Chapter 1, How Our School Got to Win the Cup, part 1. I still remember the day the new sports teacher arrived. I was outside the headmaster's office again for talking in class. Mr. Braintree, the headmaster, was just finishing his conversation on the phone. Yeah, okay, okay, yeah. Let your people talk to my people, blah, 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 blah. I heard the thudding of footsteps. Well, I suppose that's what it must have been. I looked towards the entrance to see the reception, and I saw him walk in. At first I thought it was a monster, but as I stood there with my mouth open, without chattering, which was unusual for me, I heard Mr. Braintree say, I suppose you're from the agency. Well, you don't say that to monsters, do you? He obviously wasn't a monster. I'm just a kid, so how would I know? The man from the agency was 7 foot tall, dressed in a black leather suit, carrying a huge silver sword in both hands above his head. He had a hairy face and huge white teeth. Mr. Braintree said, as he wiped his glasses on his cardigan, PE teacher, eh? I'm Braintree. What's your nomenclature? The huge man with the sword made a sort of growling noise. I think he had a cold. Mr. Braintree said, Your name, sir, what's your name? The PE teacher looked up slowly, squinted at the sign above his head, and said in a deep, growling voice, Entrance. Mr. Braintree polished his glasses some more and said, Mr. Entrance, what an unusual name. Speak to Mrs. Pigshaw, she'll show you the ropes. I've got a meeting to go to, and held out his hand. Mr. Entrance just looked at Mr. Braintree and then peered at his own huge, hairy hand. Lowering the mighty sword for a moment, Mr. Braintree made a half-hearted smile and said, Well, I must dash. Meetings don't hold themselves, you know. Glad you're aboard. And scuttle off to wherever it is that meetings are held. Mrs. Pigshaw was a chubby lady with small round glasses that she always wore on the very end of her nose. I always wanted to give them a little push, just to get them close to her eyes, but I never did. She always carried a pile of papers in her arms. I don't know why, grown-ups. Funny lot. Always doing things that seem pointless, always saying the same things. How are you? Etc. Have you ever answered the question properly? Take my advice, don't. Just say I'm fine. I heard Mrs. Pigshaw shout from her office. I'll be with you in a moment. She then came scurrying out of the office, looking at her feet as she usually does. She was saying, Supply teachers, where would we be without you? She then glanced up at Mr. Entrance, screamed loudly, and dropped all of her papers. Mr. Entrance slowly lifted his sword above his head again. It looked awfully sharp. Mrs. Pigshaw picked up her papers hurriedly and whispered, Peter, that's me. Could you show Mr. Entrance to the sports hall, please? I'll phone Mr. Jones on his mobile to let him know you're on your way. I said, I'm awaiting punishment for rabbiting again, miss. Don't worry about that, dear. We don't want to keep Mr. Entrance waiting, do we? She said in a shaky voice. Okie dokie, I said, follow me. I thought, I quite like Mr. Entrance. He got me off the hook anyway. He scowled and slowly followed me, trailing his sword by his side. As we approached the sports hall, I heard Mr. Jones, the head of PE, shout, They're coming! As we walked through the door, he said, Oh my Lord! He was holding a cricket bat, which I thought was a bit strange because it was January. When Mr. Entrance raised his sword again, Mr. Jones swiftly hid the cricket bat behind his back. I suppose he thought it was too cold for cricket after all. As the two men stood there silently looking at each other, I took the opportunity to slope off. At lunch, everyone was talking at the same time. I've not seen such excitement since Michael Owen, the famous footballer. School reference, wink wink. Hard and High, that's what it's based. Famous footballer came to the school to talk about dribbling. I'd shouted out, My baby brother dribbles all the time. No one laughed at me at all. I'm very old. Look up football and dribbling. It used to be a thing when I was a kid. Anyway, if you're lucky, it'll make some sense. On with the tale. Today was different. Everyone was talking about the same thing. He's called entrance, apparently. Mr. Jones had to come home. Had to go home. The cricket bat, that split right down the middle.